you doing? This is Winder's Ranger. I've had several requests on a couple of different videos that I've done. Some of them featured the micro groomsman trimmer. Other ones have featured the Wahl Elite Pro, and this is part of, or one of the ones out of the kit for the, I think it's the D-case Wahl. And some of the requests have been about cutting my hair, how I cut my hair. Can I do a video on cutting my hair? I've tried it in the past and it didn't turn out so good. We're going to give it another shot today and see how it comes out. But before we start that, we're going to talk about just some of the basic maintenance that I do each time that I cut my hair, each time I get these tools out to use them. Okay, so what do we do as far as basic maintenance? I use just a little bit of oil, and I oil the cutting edges on both my trimmers, or any of the trimmers that I use for that matter. I'm not real picky about what kind of oil I use. They all come with some sort of a little bottle of oil inside the container or the packaging that the trimmers and clippers come in. That usually doesn't last too long, but I end up using just Remington gun oil. Nothing fancy. I don't know if it's really the best thing to use since you're using it in your hair and stuff, but it's just a small amount, and most of it gets wiped off anyway before I actually use the trimmer. To apply the oil, I take the trimmer or clipper. I have a tendency to call these trimmers, and I've been corrected several times in the past, so I apologize if I use the wrong terminology. But I just take a little dab and just run across the cutting edge, and then I'll run it for just a second, just so it allows the oil to work its way between the cutting edge and the guide. These trimmers, this clipper's got a little bit of age to it. I think it's actually starting to wear out on me. And with the Elite Pro, I run the guide out as far as it'll go. Just run a dab of oil across there, and then I'll work it back and forth a couple times, and then I'll turn it on and do the same thing, just for the same purpose of getting the oil between the cutting edge and the guide, so that way it'll move a little bit smoother. And then to clean this off, what I do is I run the guide back out again, and I'll use an old toothbrush, and I brush across there to get the excess oil off and to spread around any spots that might not have actually been covered with oil. And then I'll close it, do the same thing on the reverse, and then I'll use a piece of toilet paper, and I just wipe off the excess. Sometimes it'll run down across the bottom of the blade there, or the guide. And I'll do the same thing to both clippers before I use them. Okay, so we're going to give this a try, see how this works out. I apologize in advance if I don't get myself completely in the screen or in the frame each time. So I also want to try to concentrate on doing a halfway decent job of cutting my hair, because I don't want to walk around looking goofy for the next couple of days until it grows back. First thing I usually do is I use the Elite Pro, and I'll come across the top and I'll establish the height that I want, and then I'll work on the two edges. What I do is kind of a modified flat top. After I work on the actual upper portion, I'll usually come in and I'll start a little bit on the sides, and then I'll trim all of this with the clippers, and I'll trim all this up to right about the edge where the bevel starts to meet the flat top, and then I'll come back and I'll work on both the bevels on each side, and then I'll clean up the back portion here as the final part. Okay, here goes nothing. Corn tack. And I just watch myself in the mirror, because I got the camera going. I'm probably going to really screw this up bad this time. Maybe more of a high and tight than a modified flat top, but oh well. And you can see that just kind of establishes the a skunk stripe there we got going on. And then I'll do, it leaves a bit of an edge there on either side. I gotta come back and cut those down. It's not too bad. It's not perfect. But don't expect it to be perfect if you're doing it yourself, I suppose, especially when you're working in the mirror, because as anybody that's ever looked in the mirror knows, you're looking at your reflection, which means everything's backwards. So it definitely takes a while to find a routine and establish a method that works best for you and when you cut your own hair. It took me quite a while. I've been cutting my hair, I guess probably since 2005. It was the first time, and I screwed it up pretty bad the first couple of times and ended up having to cut everything off and letting it grow back and starting over, but I stuck with it. Okay, so we've got the top portion there. So now what we'll do is we'll trim the sides and the back, and we'll bring it up to that bevel. And to do that, I just put the thumb screw down on the trimmers as close as I can get it. And just work along the sides and the back. And having done this a number of times, there's a certain amount of, I guess, muscle memory of where I am with the clippers in relation to where I want the hairline to, or the bevel on the top of my head, so I don't have to worry so much about cutting too close. That's about got it as far as this clipper goes. And what just for the record, what I also do is I put a towel on the floor, and just an old bath towel or something, nothing fancy. Usually when I get a clean towel for a shower, I'll take the old towel and I'll just throw that down on the floor. It collects the hair that falls off, you know, and I don't have to sweep it all off the floor. I can just ball up a towel, throw it right in the washing machine. Okay, let me take a look in the mirror here. It's not too bad. Like I said, it's a little distracting to try to videotape this and talk and do it all at the same time. I'm not used to that, but now what I'll do is I'll come along and I'll try to clean up these two edges here and get that bevel going. This is the tricky part. And I'll come back and I'll kind of brush that with my hand just to get the cut hairs out and the stragglers that I missed, get them to stand up so I can come back and get them a second time here. And you can see how that kind of come right along that edge there. And then this corner, and what I found is I just come along this edge and I'll just trim just a little bit towards the front, starting on the side and then around to the front. Same thing, and just kind of come in with at a 45 and bring the back flush with the front. And what I'll do, this is right along this edge here, it's kind of out of shape, so I'll come in from the top. And then I'll usually sweep up from the very back. Just kind of brings everything blends it together, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Okay, so now we're gonna come across this front edge here, try to clean that up a little bit. And I just kind of turn the clipper at 90 degrees, let the bottom edge rest against my forehead, and I'll just come back and do a couple of passes and just slowly rotate that upper edge in against the hairline. Do this leading edge here again. Get that a little closer. The barber that I used to use always had it looked like a glue stick. I don't know what it was exactly called, maybe some kind of a gel or something. And he'd push a little bit out, and he would take that thing and he'd go like that, and that makes all these little hairs stand up on the front. I don't have anything like that. I suppose I probably could find it online someplace, but I find just going like this enough, and then I'll just come in with the trimmers and just kind of go along that top edge there, and it takes care of the stragglers for me. All I'm doing, just coming along this edge right here. Alright, as you can see, where's the thing? There we go. It's okay. It's not the greatest in the world. So like I said, it's a little distracting trying to do this on camera and do make a video of it and do it all in one take, because once you cut the hair off, it's one take. It's not gonna there's nothing there left to cut. So I think that's pretty well got it with this, with the Elite Pro. And what I'll do is I switch over to the silver one that you saw a few minutes ago. And come along this edge here again. I guess technically it's not even a flat top really, but anyway, I'll come along with the silver trimmers, clippers, and then I'll do everything on the sides up to the flat top. But they work good for this, so. And the term, if you've ever heard the term when you were a kid, I did all the time. You go to the barber shop and get your ears lowered. It makes me think of this when I do it. Alright, now we'll come back and we'll do, let's get the mirror here. I also use a mirror, hand mirror, and then I'll stand and look through that into the other mirror, the big mirror here behind you guys, and I'll work on that back edge a little bit better. And then I'll take these and just kind of touch up the top edges here, and you know, sometimes you got to tilt your head around and look to see if you've got any irregularities, anything that needs to be touched up. Brush your hair back a few times and see if you get one or two of those little straggling hairs that stick up. Now from here is I'll clean up my clippers and brush all the excess hair off of those, and I'll wrap the cords and things up, put them back in their storage cases, and then I just brush all the hair up and usually just throw it in the trash. I don't want to, I mean, I cut it pretty short, but I don't think it would clog up a drain, but you know, better safe than sorry. And from there, then I just jump in straight in the shower since I'm here at the house, rinse all the loose hair off, and done. So hope you liked the video. I apologize, you know, for switching back and forth between clipper and trimmer, but it's just an old habit. I just had to call them trimmers. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave a message or ask your question down in the message thing below. I'll do my best to answer your question or get back to you as soon as I'm able to. If you'd like to see any other videos, again, message me and I'll see what I can do. I apologize for taking so long and getting this video out to you guys. I know there's several people that have asked about how I cut my hair and could I produce a video. So we'll see. This is the first one. I'm not sure how this is going to come out, so just kind of bear with me. There may be other videos to follow depending on how this one turned out, and post-production we'll see how it goes. Again, thank you, and we'll see you guys on the next one.